So let's start this interview with Khaia.
Yeah.
Khaia, nice to meet you. Do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Khaia. I'm 23 years
You
old.
can hold it.
Okay. I'm Khaia. I'm 23 years old. Now currently I live in Thailand for more than 6 months, maybe 7. Originally I'm from Israel. I used to live in America. Now I work remotely. Yeah, that's me.
Okay, and we met at the food market. We had a nice conversation about masculinity, femininity, and you read a very interesting book, which is
I think it's the Way of Men.
The Way of Man.
The
Yes.
Way of Men. I haven't really read it. I read it with my boyfriend and he reads it to me, so that's very nice. Yeah, some things from this book are very, very interesting to me. Yeah, I found it very interesting.
Yeah, it's actually interesting that you read this book because usually women hate that. It's a triggering book for women. Did you know
I
that?
actually didn't know it. I can now understand what can be triggering, but yeah, I don't think I didn't really think about that way. I don't know.
Okay, so what did you find interesting about this book? Because I actually teach this book in my programs.
I think there was it was a part there that's about like the relationship between a father and a son. I found it very interesting. Also, I'm not really sure, but there was a chapter about like I don't really about the what is it called, like yeah, how like men should treat women. I'm not sure. Can you recall?
So yeah, this book talks about the 4 virtues of masculinity, which are strength, courage, competence, and honor. So basically, in every epoch of the history, these virtues have been celebrated, and masculinity is founded on these virtues. That's the basic premise of the book. And what do you think about this? How does a man have to behave, in your opinion, to be a man?
I think it's not about like behavior, but I think it's more of his nature. It should come naturally. And today, I think nature of man has been, I don't know, like retouched. You know, it's been like man doesn't really know how to behave. He doesn't know how to because. I don't know, now with the whole feminism movement going, it tries to like say, oh, we're just like men, or men should be like toxic masculinity stuff. I mean, I think it's very toxic to think that men should act like women or women should act like men. I think it's just, you know, it's not how it's supposed to be. And it's clearly not working, this whole feminism idea and like this toxic masculinity idea, because men, you know, from my age, 20, 23, 24 until I don't know, they don't know how to approach women. They don't know how to keep relationship going. They often cheat. They often are not confident in themselves. They often have issues with their parents, their father mainly. Yeah, they need some guidance today. Yeah, if in the past men just knew what to do, they knew they have to be courageous, they have to be confident because it came naturally. Today It should be relearned again. I think so. Yeah.
And do you think that women can teach men how to do this, or it should be a man who is taking the lead, taking charge to lead men?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think a woman can teach a man how to be a man because woman is a woman. So I don't know. But yeah, I think a man should teach a man. Again, what men should teach a man. What kind of, you know, it should be like a leader or a father, because even fathers, sometimes don't know how to lead and teach and guide their sons, because themselves were affected by the society now and stuff like that, and they cannot really. But I don't know who can teach a man to be a man. Maybe like books or something.
Okay, when have you started to develop these views of the world and of masculinity, femininity?
Well, I'm pretty young, but I always like to learn more about our society and how we do things, because everyone is saying society is broken. Okay, so what is broken? I want to know where it happened, what happened there. So I started reading books and obviously social media, and you can take social media in a part of like just sliding and seeing stories of people, or you can actually learn something from it.
Yeah, sure.
So I think one of the main figures that I started listening to was Jordan Peterson. Do you know him?
Yeah,
I started listening to him, and he changed my whole view of, I think, people in general. His courage to stand up and because he's a professor in the university. Sorry.
The jungle.
Yes, he's
we're in Thailand.
Yeah. So he's a professor in a university, and obviously all the universities now in America are very leftist and very liberal, but he stand up for himself and his views. He didn't break into them and So I started listening to him, and his ideas are very respondent to what I felt. So yeah.
Yeah, of course I know him, and he often says that a man has to be dangerous. He has to have this potential to be dangerous, but also he needs to learn how to control his power. So these are the components, being dangerous, having the potential to be dangerous, and having the power to control it, to control. What do you think about this?
I totally agree. Yeah, I think control is something that is very... Now, a lot of men cannot control themselves in a lot of ways. Control is something that should be learned, I think, in schools, because men are now getting very outrageous, and, because of lack of the inside, you know what I mean? They losing control, and they sometimes have hysterias, and they acting a little bit like women.
Yeah.
Women cannot really control themselves sometimes. Of course they do, but you know what I mean? It's a very feminine trait to okay, whatever, I don't like my job, whatever, yeah, they losing control.
Yeah. I think that if you want to learn how to control yourself, you need to get powerful first, because you cannot control yourself without power. For example, school shooters, these are weak men. They're not strong men. Or rapists. Do you agree?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, people who do, bad things are mainly want to first of all, I think mainly these people are lacking of attention. There's this African quote saying that a guy, a boy who was, he was, all the village hated him, they didn't pay attention to him, so he burned the village in order to feel its warmth. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's a very,
attention.
Yes, but it's a very interesting sentence. I really like it. It's a nice quote. So yeah, it's control and power should be learned, definitely.
Mm-hmm. And what is a good way for a man to learn how to be powerful, in your opinion?
Wow. I don't know. I think first of all to learn his weaknesses, where he's weak. Some men feel weak, I don't know, next to a woman, right? maybe it's financially wise. I think, men who, wow, I don't know, that's a really good question. Once he has good bases, like to... Good foundation, yes. Maybe work on his confidence, his weaknesses, to identify his weaknesses, see where he feels, less confident, where he feels more confidence, even like write it on a piece of paper, so you can see it. You can see your thoughts. And how he can work on this. Okay, so I have trouble with women. Okay, that's a weakness. Let's work on that. So just like this, you know what I mean? I think that's a good way.
How about physical strength? Do you like to have a boyfriend who is physically stronger than you, I suppose, no?
For sure. I think a man with a good physique, it's a man who takes care of himself. And we also judge people by the way they look all the time. Like that's the first thing we see a person who is not really taking care of himself. Well, maybe he's not taking care of other things in his life, you know what I mean? Maybe he's not that good at this, prejudice. We're human beings, that's how we think. So when you see a man who is controlling himself, because having a good physique, it takes a lot of work. You have to wake up early, you have to go to the gym, you have to eat properly, so you take care of yourself.
Signals self-discipline, focus, signals so many virtues.
Exactly. So of course, if you see a man, a woman, first of all, the first thought she's having is like, well, this man can take care of me. Her feminine energy is thinking, well, probably this man can, physically protect me. So, yeah, I think it's very important.
It's very important. Okay, so what do you find attractive in a man in seduction? Because this is the main topic of my channel.
Wow. I think a man who can talk, who is very talkative, very smart. Wow, very nice question. What I find attractive in seduction.
Very talkative.
Yes.
Do you like a man who talks more than you?
Yes, I do.
Because you like to listen?
I love to listen if he talks interesting, because some men talk, talk about cars, talk about sports, talk about things that are not even interested to me. I want a man who can talk about other stuff, like about myself, about himself, about this whole world. I don't know, like very deep conversations. I love deep conversations. I think it's very important. I don't know, that's what I like.
Only deep conversations? What else do you like in a man?
What do I like in a man?
Okay, do you like confidence in a man?
Of course. It's very important.
Would you say that you like a dominant man? And what is dominance for you?
Yeah. I think people have very very mistaken idea of dominance in a relationship. I think dominance. I don't think of a relationship of a dominant and a what's the opposite of a submissive. I don't think of a relationship that way. It's not a competition. It's not who is stronger, who's better. It's relationship is two people.
But actually, let me tell you, submissiveness is not weakness.
It's not.
It's just a different role.
Yeah. But I think like it's not a competition. I think men should be dominant in some things, and a woman should be dominant in some things. Men should be submissive in some things, and a woman, it's a balance. That's why it's a yin and a yang, He's dominant, but it doesn't mean I'm not dominant, Yeah, it's...
Okay, where do you like to be dominant in a relationship?
Wow. I guess in decision making, I think when something big is happening, men should take the lead. I think so. Of course, my opinion is also important, and we're
So you
thinking
want a
about
man
this.
who cares about your opinion and who listens to you and who is attuned to you.
Yeah, but
But you want a man who takes charge.
yes,
Okay.
yes, I think so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, and where do you like to be submissive?
Where I want him to be submissive at, because
No, where do you like to be submissive?
I
In
think
which circumstances?
in my ideal world,
Yes.
I want to be submissive financially. I think a
Financially?
man should take the lead in my perfect world. I think, I know it sounds very extreme, but I think that's man's job. I think that's on him to provide, because that's his masculine.
Yeah.
Of course, in today's world, it's very extremist to say that, and of course, a woman should also. But I think I'm not saying a woman should not have her business. I'm not saying a woman should not do, but I think she should flourish in different things. She should, flourish in like her feminine energy and progress in that, and not always think, okay, I have to make money. That's masculine. Yeah.
Okay, and how do you feel when you are relaxed in your feminine? Why do you like it so much?
Because it's just me. It's a nature of me. I can be relaxed. I can give more love to my partner. It's very important for a woman to be relaxed, because when she's relaxed and she's having a very peaceful life, she's not, the relationship is better.
Yeah.
The balance is there. She can give more attention to her man. She's just more loving and more welcoming and receiving from the man more. I mean, energetically, she's calm. I don't know. That's
Okay, and in bed, what do you like the most? You like a man who is dominant, who takes the lead, or?
It really depends on my mood, really. But I always liked more a more stronger and more dominant man in bed. Obviously, I didn't really like to take the lead. Sometimes, of course, I take sex as a playful part of life. It should be a play. It should be. Sometimes he's dominant, sometimes I'm dominant. It should be, because people taking it so seriously, sex, it's like, it has to be so serious, and that's why people are lacking confidence in this. I think it should be playful. I think it should be enjoyable for both sides. Of course, I prefer more manly men. I prefer like masculine and dominant and like grabbing me. Sometimes I love it, sometimes I don't. It really depends on my mood.
Because there are some men who think that being dominant and taking the lead is kind of disrespectful towards women, and I think it's not the case. But what is the take on that? Take on that?
I think every woman secretly likes dominant men because it's in our nature. When women say they don't really like it, I think not all of them, but mostly it's because they haven't experienced a dominant man, a man who is confident in himself and good in his masculine energy. Women now prefer weak men. They prefer weak men because it's easy, because it's comfortable.
Because you can control them, right?
Yes. But that's not how the nature of things are, a man should not be your child. You're not supposed to control him. You're not supposed to. It's not natural. So a woman who says the dominant man is not, I don't like it, well, maybe your feminine energy is broken. Maybe you should fix yourself first. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, what would you suggest to a woman to drop into her feminine nature a bit more?
Again, I think it starts with her energy. Once she's calm and peaceful, she doesn't need to care about providing for herself and her family. Because when a woman provides, she's per se, she's the head of the family who is doing everything, and she's like the father. She's the masculine of the family, of her like partnership. She's the masculine in there. The roles are changed, which is super unnatural. You know, she cannot because male energy is to give, yes, and female energy is to receive. So when she's all her day, she's the one who is giving, right? She's providing, she's doing. In bed, she cannot relax. She cannot open herself to receiving the man.
You're receiving.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's why women first should, because you say, we need to fix the man. Well, we also need to fix the woman, because it cannot be just you need to fix also the woman. Women should start, researching about their female energy more. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean with fixing the woman?
Not fixing the woman. Sometimes I say like weird stuff.
Yes.
Not fixing, but for me, for example, me too. Like when I was a kid, I was 18, 19. I used to think woman, she's just like a man. We should like work and have a career and have just like a man. But then I was in my previous relationship. That's what I was. I was very powerful and I was strong, in a sense of like giving and providing and being like this boss lady or whatever. And I felt like my man is not at the same level as me. Like he's not as powerful. When I became like very powerful in my masculine energy, I felt like his masculine energy is like slowly fading away. I just felt that, and I couldn't.
And how did you feel in that moment?
I felt like I felt very. At one point I felt good, like I'm working, blah blah blah, I'm doing this and that, I'm the one providing, and he was like, what does it say? Like his masculine energy was like slowly going, and I was like, that's not what I want. Doesn't feel like that's what I want. I really like dominant men. I really like strong men, and that's not what I'm doing right now. So
you wanted to feel his solidity. You wanted to feel his boundaries,
Yes.
When you were pushing himself too much.
Yes, and he tried, because he always wanted to, like, I'm the man. But a man who says I'm the man, obviously, if you need to say something that you're not it. You know what I mean? Yeah, you have
to speak with actions, right?
Yes, because the man who says I'm the man in this relationship, I'm the man. If you need to say something that you're probably not it, So, and it affected our sexual life. It affected everything. Just everything started a little crumbling. You know what I mean?
Okay, would you say to me some women that inspire you very much?
Wow, it's a good question, because what women inspire me?
Yeah. You can think about some women in real life or some archetypes.
Yeah. Well, I have, now in social media there's a lot of mentors, like women who heal feminine energy. Mm-hmm. They're not as famous, they're not like very famous, but they have like a couple thousand of followers, but they're saying very, very interesting stuff. They're mainly Israeli, so I don't know if it's good to say it, but they all are trying to heal the fem, and
You can suggest to the ladies some names if you want.
Her name is Alexa. That's her name.
Alexa.
That's the mentor that I have on Instagram, and she was once a supermodel. and she, she was always like thinking about how she looks and that, and she has a very interesting story. She didn't like, people were telling her she's fat even though she was a supermodel, and she was like, she wanted to kill herself or something like that. A very, very strong story she has. But then she thought to herself that maybe something is more deeper than just, maybe I need to fix something inside of me. So she started loving herself, and she fixed her relationship, and she's a very feminine woman. I like her. Just someone that.
How about the archetypes? Are there some archetypes you like about women?
By archetypes, what do you mean?
I don't know, maybe the mother, the boss babe.
I think the archetype.
I talk very much about archetypes with my clients, but it's always about male archetypes. For example, the warrior, the king, the bad boy, the good boy. And we analyze them and we try to understand which archetypes are more powerful or less powerful.
Wow. What archetypes are women? Mother, queen, boss? I don't know.
Queen, mother, boss babe, good girl, bad girl, party girl.
I don't know. I think all of the archetypes have their strengths and weaknesses. Again, some of them have more feminine energy, some of them have more masculine energy, some of them are just confused. I think a party girl is just, I think it's this like immediate satisfactions, like party, alcohol, stuff like that. It's something to satisfy yourself in, like, for a very short period of time, and then you need it again and again and again. So I think people who like more going out and alcohol and stuff like that, they missing something in themselves. They always need to fill this void in their heart. Yeah.
Would you like to be a mom one day?
Of course, I'd love to be a mom. Of course.
Why?
Why? That's a good question. Why? Because I feel like, I think by bringing life to this world, the world is just an amazing thing to me. It just, I think it's just magical and amazing, and I hope he can grow up in Copenhagen, being naked at the beach. This kind of.
There
Perfect
are
family.
so many families.
I know, I see them, and I'm telling my boyfriend, I want a family like this. I want them all be naked in nature. Not like,
I'm asking you this question because I feel like that nowadays motherhood is kind of discouraged among women, and I think it's really bad, and I wanted to ask you what's your take on that.
Yeah. I think our society, our civilization was based on, father, mother, child, and that's how it's been for generations and generations. When it's broken, right? When it's this generational thing breaks, it's, well, what's good about this, Of course, now women are encouraged to first go to college and first have a job and career and have a boss. And, sit on a chair from 9 to 5, doing basically, having a boss and, I don't know, working for something they don't really need to work on for, And they marry late and they have babies late. And I think it's not how life's supposed to be. I mean, for generations it's been differently, and now for the past like maybe 50 years it's been like this, right? Like maybe 40 years, 30 years. It's very young, it's very new idea of like women should also work and also have a careers and not think about children. Well, but that's a natural thing of women to think about children, it's in our hormones, it's in our nature. That's why. And yeah, I think it's the worst thing ever than women are being discouraged to have babies, because it's part of their nature. It's part of their nature. Yeah.
And we were talking about family, no?
Yeah.
Man, woman, and children. What about all of these new families, you know? Gay families, lesbian families, trans families.
I mean, I have no problem with this. In general, I think people should do whatever they want, marry whoever they want, be with whoever they want. I'm not necessarily will do it myself, and I'm not necessarily agree with it. But you know, you do you. You know, it's a free world. Do whatever you want. I just don't like the way it's being encouraged again, because it's everywhere now, and it's all this people who are transitioning, transgender, right? They, I mean, it's do whatever you want again, but don't tell me what to think of you. You know, if you're a man born in a man's body, you are a man. You're not a woman. I'm sorry. Like genetically, you're not a woman. And people who say that they are women, I mean, it's not. I mean, it's just. Again, I don't have a problem with this. I just don't think we should miscommunicate our definitions of things, because a man is a male human being who has male organs. You know, we should not start, you know, discommunicating with each other. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm asking you this question because you've been growing up in America.
Yeah.
And maybe you can make a comparison between America and Europe.
Yeah.
Do you see any differences?
Not that I lived a lot in Europe. I used to study in Austria, but not. I don't really know how society is there. But in America now, they came to a new age, I think. New ideas are being shown to us every day. Every day something new comes up, right? Transgenderism, this, that. People are not like following with what's going on. Oh, you're not a man. I should not call you a man. What's going on, you know? A lot of things are changing very quickly. When I ask, you know, people saying there's more than 2 genders. Okay, tell me how many genders? We don't know how many. Well, what kind of definition is this? Like, give me a numbers, give me something, you know. So when you don't have these definitions, in America especially, a very strong country, it's been like this for centuries, a very strong country, because they had those definitions. They knew everything, you know, man is a woman, house, a dog, a car. They had this beautiful families, American dream. Now everything is getting a bit, miscommunicated, and people are just understanding nothing right now. Who is a man? Who is a woman? What's going on? And this wrong stuff can actually bring the society down. It brings it down. The man is not a man anymore. A woman is not a woman anymore. Man who is cis man, right? A straight man should not act like a straight man. A woman who is a straight woman should not act like a straight woman, because if she's not having a career, she's not a good woman. So everything got kind of like just big mess. It's just a big mess. So I don't know.
And what do you think it's the root problem here?
I think
I have an answer, but first I want to.
I don't know. I think it's a lot of things at the same time. Again, weak men. Women who think they're strong, because it's an illusion, you know. I think that's it.
Yeah, I think it's the lack of dominant strong men who say no to this bullshit.
Yeah.
That's my answer, because I feel like that the protection of emotions is important, but it's more important also to protect the reality and facts. And a man is a man and a woman is a woman, and we cannot confuse these two people.
Yeah. When you start confusing basic things, everything else will just fall, because when you build a house and the basement is full of water, you didn't build the basement, everything will fall. So, you know, George Orwell, 1984, the book, he writes that when you don't know how to answer 2 + 2 = 4, it's you start creating other answers. Everything just.
Yeah, that book is incredible.
Yeah, it's an amazing book. It's very relevant to our times. So everything else will just fall down as well if you cannot get your definitions right. So what they're doing basically now, they rewriting the history books. They're rewriting it. They're saying, well, man is not a man, woman is not a woman. So people who are, you know, are born now and they're going to school now, they're getting the wrong information, wrong definitions, and it's just absolutely horrifying what can happen next.
It's horrifying when you cannot trust your own eyes anymore, you know?
Exactly.
Okay, would you like to greet my audience, give them an encouragement maybe? If you feel confused, if you feel like there's, you know, more things, like not everything that you see in social media and media now in general, movies, books that are being written now, it's not, I don't think, the answer. There's not only one truth to things, because now people can write whatever they want and say it's the truth, but people should research. You always need 2 variations to one research, always 2 answers, because, you know, even the news now, you have news, well, you don't know if it's actually happened. You don't know what's right, what's wrong. So anyways, I think always recheck, research more. If you feel like you need to become more of who you are, read more, get the right information, and just research, because there's a lot of good men out there, a lot of strong men out there who are mentoring, who are giving lessons, who are trying to improve our society. And a lot of great books, a lot of great podcasts, a lot of, I think that's it. Okay, so that was your advice for men, to read more, to research more.
Yeah, just research more, learn more. Because the information that is free now, information that is, you know, on the mass media, it's not always correct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And how about action? You know, also action is important. So reading books is important, of course. Yeah. Get the right knowledge, but also acting, for example, I don't know, talking to that girl instead of reading books about seduction.
Exactly. There is something else I want to say. Now, men are like to text a lot. They text, they don't even approach a girl anymore in real life. And that's so scary to me. You know, they just prefer, you know, not see her, because they prefer, because they're scared, they're weak at this part of themselves, you know, they are scared to get rejected. That's like the biggest, you know, fear of them all, to be rejected, and I'm not good enough for her, and I'm not this. It's not always necessarily the truth.
And actually women understand this very well, because it's very painful for you, rejection, right?
Exactly.
For women in general.
Exactly. Of course, we understand also rejection. But men and women can sense the lack of confidence in the man when he approaches her. So, you know, when you want to approach a woman, you see a beautiful woman and you're scared to approach her, just say, you know, fuck it, we only live once. The worst that can be, she will say to me, bye, and that's it, you know, like nothing, the world is not gonna crumble down, nothing will happen, just, you know, do this thing, you know, practice. You will get 1 no, you will get 1,000 no's, doesn't matter. Just practice this skill, yeah.
Thank you so much.